it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again this morning. I'm doing a make it up as you go along today, so hello. I'm using the This Little Piggy stamp set, and as ever I have recorded this in advance, and the reason I'm using this is because we are having a lunch date with some friends of ours, one of whom is Chinese. And earlier this week, you may know, it was the Chinese New Year. So I thought it would be nice to take a card to celebrate the New Year that he is celebrating. And it's the Year of the Pig. So why not this little piggy? This has been in the catalogue for, 2 years. It's in its second catalogue, I want to say. So we've got lots of lovely piggies. So we've got Hogs and Kisses, which would be ideal for Valentine's Day later this month. This Little Piggy, which is the one I'm going to use. You Make Me Happy, and She Believed She Could, and it goes on to So She Did. And we've got Loves You, Says Thanks. It's just really pretty. There's little hog kisses, there's a cloud. So really, really pretty. I'm matching it up with the Petal Promenade Designer Series paper because it's in Petal Pink. And I wanted Petal Pink because Petal Pink is the perfect colour for a pink pig. So I will come to making the card in a moment, but this is the reverse of this beautiful floral. It's almost a shame to cover it up, but I wanted just a soft background. And I'm also going to be using part of one of the borders. I've actually split it, but this is one of the border strips that comes in the Petal Promenade. So, yeah. Okay, let's start by stamping our pig. And then I'm going to stick the paper on, and then I'm going to come back and colour the pig, and I will explain why I'm doing that in a moment. I have measured my stamp, and I put it on my block, not at all straight. There we go. In fact, you know what? Here's a thing. Here is a reminder. So this is not one of our cling stamps. This is a clear mount stamp. So it comes with the stickers, as ever. But we've always had this slight issue with getting the sticker to then stick to the block. But we can do a retro. So I'm just going to peel that off and stick our sticker on the back of the stamp. And it's exactly the same if you're using the new cling stickers. And there is our sticker, beautifully stuck on. It's not completely central, which is slightly annoying, but it's fine. Now, as I say, I have habitually found that they don't stick to the block. So if I now try and stick that onto the block, it kind of doesn't want to. So I have got squirreled away some of the leftovers from my cling mount stamps. Now I did do a Top Tip Tuesday, I think, on this. I certainly did a video on it. All I need to do is take a small amount, and it doesn't need to be a huge amount, of the leftover backing. I do need to make sure I get it the right way up, which will be interesting. So let's see if I can work out which is the... Right, so one side is shiny and one side is matte. So the shiny side is the side you want to have sticking down. Yes. So if I peel the backing off, hopefully it will come... No, that's inevitable, isn't it? Yeah, so that's the side I want facing up. And of course it's gone the other way. So if I pop that in the middle of my stamp and peel the backing off, I now have a sticky stamp. Isn't that clever? So keep your leftover bits and do a retrofit. because that means I can stick that on my block. It will stay because it's sticky, and it means I can have some idea of what I'm sticking and where I'm sticking it. And you need to just be a little careful still when you peel your stamp off, because you have got that really sticky bit in the middle. So do bear that in mind. Now, I've just had a thought, which is a bit painful occasionally. I was going to use Memento, and I'm now wondering whether... No, I will use Memento because I need the features. Because you can... I'm going to use blends, and you can use, with blends, basically the only ink I wouldn't use is the StazOn, but you can use either Memento or our classic ink. So I was just thinking I might use a different ink, but I'm going to use Memento. So I'm going to get over my piece of card, and I will let you know what the measurements are in a moment. Stamp that down. And there we've got this little piggy. So I measured my card to fit my stamp, and it's 2.5 by 2 3/4 inches. I will put that and the metric equivalent on my blog, which is linked immediately below. Have a look for the associated blog post. Also, while I've got the Memento out, I've grabbed from the Well Said stamp set, which is huge. You get 51 stamps, and I have put the cling mount on all the backs. It took me a while, but there we go. They are all on, and I'm pulling, I want Celebrating Another Year. So this little piggy, Celebrating Another Year. I probably need is or was or something, but you know, it's going to be fine. You can keep the Of Happiness, but I'm going to just keep the Celebrating Another Year. So to do that, I've masked off with the Post-it note the part that I don't want. I'm just going to move that slightly. You could do that with washi tape instead if you would rather, but Post-it note works well. So ink up, make sure you are well inked on the bit that you want, remove the bit you don't, because, you know, it's going to make a nasty mess if you don't. So dispose of that, give it a quick huff because it's now been sitting around for a bit, and this is just a scrap of Whisper White, and go straight down, straight up, and it's crooked, but it's fine because we're going to use a punch. So if I come in, I can probably just about straighten that up. It just fits in the classic label punch, and I only need just fit. I don't need anything bigger than just. So that's perfect. Right, I'm still going to leave that for a little while. And the reason is that although the blends works really well with Memento, you do want the Memento to be really, really, really dry. Otherwise it will bleed just a little. Now, this is going to be going here, but I want my my border on as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stick my borders on first, then I'm going to stick on this, and then I'm going to trim it all down because I've cut everything at just under 15, just about 15 centimetres, just under 6 inches. So I'm just going to take some snail and just make sure you get right up to the ends because you don't want it to fall off and you don't want it to catch. And then I'm coming right to the edge of my card. This is unusual for me. I often have a little edge showing, but I'm not going to this time. So again, this is the top, so I'm going to come right across the top. Make sure I've got that absolutely ping on. Rub that off my nice new sheet of grid paper. Do you use grid paper, you guys? I can highly recommend grid paper for a whole host of reasons. A, it's amazing, it's huge, but also it means you've got an instant ruler, and it's inches on one side and centimetres on the other, so whether you're a metric or an imperial. So I'm just getting rid of the snail that came over the edge. So yes, whether you want to work in inches or inches or metric, or imperial or metric, I should say, you can just turn your pad over. It's quite well hidden in the annual catalogue. It comes under, let me find it for you. Let's see if it's under G for grid paper. It is, it's on page 206. So it's under accessories. So it's down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's £11 for 100 sheets, which means it's about a penny a sheet. So, you know, about a penny a sheet? No, about 10p a sheet. It's really not expensive. So, yes. There we go. That's. Oh, I don't want it that way up, do I? Want it that way up. I do love it when I think about what I'm doing. So, yes, sorry, I was going off-piste there a bit, talking about grid paper. So, yes, do look at grid paper. For £11, 100 sheets, double-sided, and of course you can use both sides. Just because one side's dirty doesn't mean the other side can't be used. So I would be tempted to use both sides. What I tend to do is when it gets too dirty, I rip it off so that it's nice and clean for the camera. And then I use the other side for when I need a piece of rough paper because I'm stamping off or that sort of thing. And then it saves my new piece of paper. Right, so there's that. Then just open your card up so that you've got just the one piece. And then just run your snips along the bottom and use the edge of your card as the guide. And so long as you're gentle, it will not cut the paper, not cut the card, it'll just cut the paper. So there we go. That's our little scrap, another piece of snail to rub off, and it does sort of rub off. I have still got one of those lovely ink removers that unfortunately, well, ink removers, glue removers, which unfortunately we don't do anymore, which I do love. I love them. Right, okay, enough procrastination and general chat. I have got the Petal Pink Duo and the dark Granny Apple Green, and the Granny Apple Green I'm just going to use for the bits of grass, simple as that. And then I'm going to do the pig. So I'm doing where I want there to be a sort of shadow in the dark. And I think we'll give her rosy cheeks, well, rosy-ish cheeks. Put dark pink hooves. Now you could introduce other colours, but I want to keep these to a minimum because sometimes one should. So I could throw every colour you want at it because I have them all, but that doesn't mean you all have them all. So, right. And there, I think. I'll just, yeah. And then come in with the light petal pink, and I'm going to use the brush end because it's quicker. And all I'm going to do is colour over the whole thing because that will help blend in the lines that we've got, but it's also quicker. Now don't press too hard with your brush tip end because you don't want to damage it. So, you know, gentle pressure. And then I'm going over, oops, I've missed out half her face. I'm going over where the shadow lines are just to soften those down a lot. But the cheeks and the snout I want to leave reasonably dark. In fact, I'm going to come back in and redo the snout and redo the cheeks. Because what happens is as you layer up the colour, it actually gets darker. Redo the hooves as well. I think I've missed down at the bottom there. There we are. So simple, simple, simple. And then we'll pop her there, and we'll pop this down here, so they're sort of almost as far away as you can get them. What I might see if I have got is a little scrap of, oh that'll do, petal pink, because I might see if I've got an even scrappier scrap of petal pink, or a piece that I can turn into a scrappier scrap, and I do. So I'm going to just trim a small piece of petal pink, and let's see, this is about 1 centimetre wide, so if I go slightly larger than I might go 1.5 centimetres actually, then that will be a nice size to mat everything on. And then that can go on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on and then trim it down. So, a snail on the back. Pop that down and then follow the line of the punched piece. The only thing to remember when you're doing this is allow more at the end. If you've got a longer piece, you do need quite a lot to get that point. So don't go too close to the edge is what I'm saying. Right, okay. So we'll pop that up, we'll pop that up. Do I want that on petal pink as well? I think I do. Let's grab another. Have I got another scrap of petal pink? No. Okay. That's a half sheet, which I like half sheets as they are, so we'll bring out a piece. Right, so the previous piece was 2.5 by 2 3/4. So if I cut this at 2 1/8 by 2 7/8, I should have a very, 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 very small margin all the way around. If I've done my maths correctly. Oh, not so small. Oh, that's because it was 2.5 by 2 1/4. Okay, we're going to trim that down. Don't you love it when a plan doesn't come together? Right, so 2 1/4 becomes 2 3/8, and 2 and this becomes 2.5 becomes 2 5/8. See, this is live crafting, or as live crafting. That's better. Right. Okay, snail. Needless to say, I will have the correct measurements on my blog post, because I haven't written it yet. So, yeah. Perfect for an edge piece. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in the middle, and make sure they're well stuck down before you try and peel them off. And the reason I say that is if you don't make sure that they're well stuck down, you'll end up trying to peel the dimensional off as well. And then pop this reasonably evenly and preferably square. I know it's an old-fashioned concept to have things square, but you know, that's me. I do like square. That's better. Phew! And then this can go down here, and I'm going to have it deliberately coming off the edge of my pattern paper onto the border strip. And then what I think I might add, just because I can, is some artisan pearls because we have them in petal pink. So why wouldn't I? So these little chappies are in petal pink. You've got Grapefruit Grove, petal pink, rich raspberry, Tranquil Tide, I think, and So Saffron. So just going to put 3. You know me and my uneven numbers. I'm going to put 3 just round the pig. And then the only other thing that we need, just so that there's somewhere to write, is a liner. So this is my usual 3 and 7/8 by 5 and 5/8. So that can go on the inside. And then, just for fun, I am going to grab the envelope and a piece of the aforementioned previously used designer's grid paper, and then find this little chappy, swap blocks over, preferably without getting too much ink on me, and I'm just going to come in at the bottom and have a little pig face. So I'm going to grab my petal pink, because this one I'm not going to colour in, and ink up my stamp, and just a little pig. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a bit of fun, bit of really live crafting. I am going to start doing Facebook Lives, so you will get more madness like this. I need to get those scheduled. I keep saying this, and I keep saying I've got to sort out some software, because I want to be able to see what's going on, and it's easier if I get the software sorted out, and I also want to be able to cut between cameras, and as I don't use Apple computers, I need a different piece of software. It's my way of procrastination, I suppose. Anyway, when you shop with me, do remember to use the host code, which is in the description bar below. If you use the host code, you get Sunflower Rewards, but also Sunflower Rewards if your order is at least £30. For every £30 in any one order, you get a Sunflower Reward, collect 10, and you can send them back to me for product up to the value of £30. £45 means you get free celebration items. Remember, I must put some information about that. There's some new celebration items coming on the 15th of February. They are gorgeous. Also, by using the host code, it means you get to share in the host rewards, which means you get free product. I just select something that I send the same thing to everybody who shop with me in any one month, and you get that kind of the middle of the following month. I'm waiting for the January host reward to arrive. I'm hoping it will arrive before this weekend so I can get it out early part of next week. And you also, just for shopping with me anyway, get a thank you card, a thank you gift. And as I say, if you use the host code, you also get to share in the host rewards. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you found this fun. And I will see you again very soon. Bye!